Hello, everyone that's joining me today or whenever you join me. It might not be where I'm doing this. I thank you for coming, and I appreciate your input. If you're a subscriber, I have to turn it off for the public because some people don't know how to act nice. So if you like what I'm doing, you can say something that you would like for me to do more of, less of. But just like me, and give me a good, like, virtual hug to know that I'm helping somebody, and I appreciate it. So today's class is called Abundance Slow Flow Yoga. And abundance is cultivate an attitude of generosity and act as though there is plenty for you and for everyone else. Give freely and generously. So I just want you to think about all of the things that in your life that you really have an abundance of, all of the things in your life that you could share. And it may just be a hug, a pat on the back, baking someone that's falling down, cookies, or bringing them a basket of fruit or a flower. What is it that you can share in abundance that you have that would be nice? And what you need for the class today is a block, blanket, bolster, a pole, or if you have a bathroom plunger, that would work for the stick or any kind of a stick. You don't have to have it, but that would be helpful. And your eye mask if you want that for Shavasana. So we will go ahead and begin our class. We're going to begin in a restorative rest pose. See, I may have to make just a slight adjustment. I'm sorry for all of my adjustments I have to do here and there. I think that's getting further away. Well, maybe I just need to move this over a little bit. Okay, that's better. Get a little bit more centered. So our focus for today, I forgot to mention, is for our QL muscle, which is our quadratus lumborum. And that goes from the bottom of your rib and attaches down to your hip joint, your hip bone. And I'm going to just refer to it as your QL muscle. And that muscle is really very important for side to side movements. If you're going to pick something up and maybe turn, be very careful. But without those QL muscles working well, that's going to make it difficult. And they can become very tight, and it could make your whole low back feel tight or stiff. So we're going to try to alleviate some of that. So we're going to do some stretching, some strengthening. And we're also going to work on the SI joint, your sacroiliac joint. And we're going to do a few exercises for that. That's what you need your stick. I'm going to use a walking cane that I have. Or, like I said, a bathroom plunger works. It's geared for any level. Be mindful if we're doing a pose and you say, oh, this doesn't feel comfortable for me. I try to give a lot of instructions, but go back and just try something else. Go into a child's pose or a restorative rest pose or something that you know is okay for you. So if anything hurts, please stop. If it just feels like you're gaining strength and you're like, oh, my muscles are shaking, try to do a second or two more and then come down and rest, because that's how you build your muscle strength, is by continually doing something that muscle. Let me start my timer so I don't run over. And like I said, we're going to start in a restorative rest pose, which feels really nice. I think you can see me. And I want you to just start out doing a few windshield wipers. To get that hip joint nice and warmed up. It'll feel really good. Got my arms out at a T, and I'm just dropping these to the right and to the left. Don't try to get your knees down to the floor because we are working on gentle, small movements today. So if you feel like, oh, we're not doing very much, we're actually doing a lot. Sometimes remember that less is more because we're targeting a very deep muscle. It's actually the muscle that is at the back of your abs, but it makes the back hurt when it's tight. So if you have good, strong abs, you probably will not be experiencing any QL distress. So any kind of ab work also helps. Make sure you're doing it properly though. Let's go ahead and bring that to a rest. Like I said, we're just loosening. Lotion is motion in the joints, so we're just loosening our joints up and getting them ready for our work here. Next, we're going to bring our right foot up. Just hold it straight up in the air, just like you're going to place it on the ceiling. And this is a really tricky move because it's very small. And then you're just going to lower the left foot towards, the right foot towards the left side of your body. Like it's going across the body. You should feel a nice stretch all the way from the hip down to the bottom of the hip, the whole buttock area. If you have a QL tightness, you will definitely feel it. On the right side, I feel it a lot because I have a little trouble there. Bring that back up to the ceiling. I'm going to go over one more time. Inhale, and if you go this way, you're not going to feel much. The foot has to be up. If you can't raise your foot up straight without bending the knee, that's fine. But we want the foot straight up. And then just gently rolling to the left side. And that is where I really feel a pull. So I'm going to stop right there. And you shouldn't go much further than this anyway. Inhale and exhale. Just let that muscle relax. Inhale. And exhale, straighten that foot up and bring that right foot down. Raise up the left foot, same position. Foot is pointing, is like walking on the ceiling. I could take a step. Inhale and exhale and let the left foot drop to the right. And on this side, I feel it actually more through my hamstring because this QL muscle on this side is not as tight. So think about where you feel it. I feel a little bit in the glutes, not as pronounced. It's a very subtle movement. Inhale up. Exhale over. Ooh, yeah, now I'm getting in there. Must have not been just in the right position. I definitely feel it in my QL muscle grouping there. Inhale up and place the left foot down. Now we're going to bring up the right knee. My foot is at a 90-degree angle, or my leg at a 90-degree angle, bent at the knee. I'm going to place my hands behind my right thigh, and I'm going to inhale and exhale, bringing that knee in as close to my chest as I can. And again, your pose may not look as mine. This is just knee to chest pose. It's a good stretch. And as you inhale, draw your knee away. Exhale, knee to head. Inhale away. Exhale, knee to head. Do one more. Inhale, knee up. Exhale, knee to head. Inhale, place the right foot down. Inhale the left leg up, 90 degrees, hands behind the thigh. Inhale. And exhale as you pull the knee towards the head, whatever position that is for you. It may not be as low as mine. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale up. Place both feet on the floor and just do a couple of more windshield wipers. What knee to chest, its main purpose is to kind of loosen the hip joint, but it also gives a gentle total body massage to all of the internal organs located in your torso. And then bring that to stillness. Now, if you have your stick handy, we're going to do an SI adjustment. So I'm going to place the stick underneath my left thigh. I'm going to bring my right knee up, and my feet are at a 90-degree angle. The left one looks a little higher because I've got this stick under it, but try to keep it as close to a 90-degree angle as possible. And then with the stick, I'm going to push the stick with my right thigh towards my head, and I'm going to push the stick with the back of my left thigh towards my feet. We're just going to hold this for about 5 seconds. And release. And I'm going to do a second round if you do not have a stick. I should have done that first. So if you do not have a stick, you're going to place the left foot on the mat, and your right hand is going to go in front of your right thigh. And you're going to like push your right thigh towards your abdominal area, but your hand is going to stop it, and it's going to push the right leg down. So it should stay stable. Ready? And go. Push and push. Push against your hand. You see my leg is at a 90-degree angle here. And release. You can get just as good of benefits that way, but I really like this way because I'm doing both sides with an activity. So if you're using the stick, again, the stick is behind my left thigh in front of the right thigh, and push opposite directions. Left leg's going towards my feet. The right leg is trying to come towards my head, and release. Now we're going to switch legs, and I'll do it without the stick for the first time. You're going to bring your left leg up. Left hand places on the front of the thigh, and you're going to push your knee into your hand, or your thigh into your hand. Push, 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 about 5 seconds, and release. And now I'm going to do it with my favorite way, with my stick. So the stick goes behind the right thigh and in front of the left. Push. I'm trying to hold it 5 seconds. And release. One more time. Push. And release. if you have any SI issues, you may have felt a nice release in that SI joint in the low back. Because low back stiffness can also come from the SI joint. So I kind of lumped them together for my class today. Our next SI joint specific exercise is knees raised up to 90 degrees. Make a fist with your hands and place it in between your thighs, right below the knee joint. We're going to push our knees together like we're trying to squish your hands and release. And if that hurts your hands, you can put a block in between your legs and do it with a block. Push, really pushing my thighs into my hands here, holding, tightening up my abs, but not my glutes, and release. One more time, push and release. And now we're going to take our hands, place it on the outside of our thighs, not on the knees, but below the knees, and we're going to try to push our legs out. But don't let them come out. Hold them with your hands and release. This is a really good strengthening for your arms and your legs. Push. It's doing some isometrics and release. And push and release. And then lay your feet back down on the mat. Stretch them out long. Inhale the arms up overhead. Take a nice, long, full body stretch. And release. Oh, that felt good. Now we're going to loosen our ankles and our wrist. So I'm just going to bring my feet up at a 90 degree, and I'm just going to rotate my ankles and my wrist. Should feel nice. Give her warming up and reverse that. It's really important to warm up, especially if you choose to do this class earlier in the day. And then we're going to spread our fingers and toes and clench, spread, clench, spread, clench. There we go. And then release and shake them out. Have a little temper tantrum. Woo-hoo. And we're going to roll over onto our side. And this is where you need to have your block or blanket handy, or both. I like both. I put my block here, and I'm going to cover it with my blanket. Anytime that we have props, just have them close by so you don't have to do too much walking around to find them. And what I would like to happen is that your head is raised up enough so that it isn't being tilted down like that or way up like that. It's just nice and even, so there's no pressure on your shoulder. And then we're going to straighten our legs out. Looks like I need to speed up a little bit. Straighten the legs completely straight. And I'm on my right side, and I have my right hand just laid out to kind of balance me. And when you feel that you're nice and even, your back is straight with your head, and your head is in line with your spine, and your legs are in line with your hips. And we're going to take and bring the right leg up at a 90-degree angle. And this is going to be a very gentle little stretch here. We're going to inhale the left arm up and exhale as it comes up over the head. Really, like you're trying to really pull it towards my couch here, or your wall, or as far over the head as you can get. And you should feel a really nice little stretch through here and even a little bit through the hip. Inhale up. Exhale, arm over, left arm over. Oh, really stretch. Like, I'm trying to pull my arm out of my socket. Of course, don't do that. But, you know, just really stretch it. That's a little lubrication there in that shoulder socket. Inhale up. And exhale over. Really stretching. Everyone feel that? And bring that left arm back down onto the mat. Straighten your legs. We're going to go into a side sphinx. So I'm going to push myself up with my left arm. And then if you want, because we are at a side sphinx, your back should be perfectly straight. I have this flannel shirt on because it's a little chilly. That I'm straight. I'm not like bending forward or bending too far back or have the legs here in front of me. I'm trying to be on a straight line like I was in between two panes of glass. I'm all straight. So because of that, if I put my left arm down, you see I roll over. So I'm going to bring a block over here to just rest my left arm on. My right arm is supporting me on the mat. And because of that, you should have a nice stretch through this right side of your body. For side sphinx. We're just going to hold it for a few seconds. It's also a little bit of a balance challenge because if you don't spend too much time on your side, that would tend to roll forward or back. You have to really get balanced on that hip bone there. And if you have bony hip bones, be sure to put a blanket underneath your hip bones. Anytime you have a bone that is really next to the skin, pad it with something. And we're just going to, now let's add a little movement to our sphinx. So I'm going to bring my left arm down by my leg, inhale that up and over, getting ready for a side plank. You should really feel a good stretch through there. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale left arm up, exhale over, inhale up. Now to get ready for side plank, I'm going to bend my right knee up, have this left leg supporting so that when I come up, your right leg is going to help you push up, as is, you're going to take your right hand and push yourself up this way and inhale up all the way to side plank. Left arm, inhale up and over. Inhale up and come down. You can sit up, rest your hand for a moment, do a little rotation. If this bothers your wrist, I'm going to take this off now. I'm starting to build a sweat. Anytime I do planks, I build a sweat or some heat in my body. If it bothers your hand or your shoulder, you can do a side plank on a forearm position. So I'll do one here to demonstrate that one. And if you want to continue with the arm up, go ahead and raise up. For the others, you can follow with this. Inhale. Up. And exhale, left arm over. And just hold it for a few seconds. And exhale down. For my third one, I'm going to go back to my arm. And if it bothers your wrist, remember to claw your fingers into the mat. You can see here I'm just flat, and here I'm raising up a little bit. That takes a little bit of the pressure off of your wrist and your palm. We go. Inhale up, straight up, and exhale, left arm over. This is a strengthening exercise as well as a stretching. And exhale down. And anytime that you need to come up and out of a pose, make sure that you do that. For our next pose, it's going to be from the plank, and we will come into kind of a boxy side angle pose, a modified side angle pose. So inhale up, straight up. Remember, back straight. And we're going to bring the left leg up in front of you and over. Inhale up, and you can sit down. We'll do one more of those. That just gives a little bit more of a tweak to that. If that is not in your body, so your wrist is getting tired, mine's starting to feel a lot of pressure on it. Just stay on your forearm and just do a side plank or come onto your back and do a restorative rest pose with a few windshield wipers. You know your body. This is your practice. I'm just giving some instructions on things to do. Here we go. Inhale straight up. It's very important to come straight up. Exhale as we bring the left foot up in front and the left arm over. It's a modified side angle. And come down. I'm going to swing around over here into an easy pose. And I'm going to get my block to sit on. It's better for your spine and your hips and your back, especially if you have any low back issues, to raise the hips above the knees. So here we're going to do a couple of side stretches, but first we're just going to do a nice big inhale up, both arms, and grab your right hand grabs your left hand and kind of like pulls it over. Center, left hand grabs the right. You can grab your wrist or your hand or hold your hand and just lean to the left. And then let go and exhale all the way down. Now, we're going to do our side stretch, side to side. So we're going to let the right arm come down to the mat, and the left hand is going to come up overhead. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale as you just do a little side stretch. This is for your QL muscle. And for tiny waist, we're making tiny waist. Inhale up. Exhale over to the left. Just make sure that your back is straight. Don't be coming over with your ribs bent forward and your back hunching up. It's a nice straight bend. Inhale up and come both arms down. I'm going to sit sideways so you can see it from a sideways position of what I'm talking about. This is a really great one for the QL. It really isn't hard to do for anybody. You may or may not go over as far. If you need to have a block or something to rest your hand on, because you can't reach the floor, maybe you don't bend that far, then go ahead and do that. Like I could take my blanket and bring the floor up. Ready? Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, lean to the left. So my back is straight. I don't want to show you what it should not look like because then that makes my back hurt. But if your back is not straight, if you're hunching or you're too far back, that's not good for your spine. Your spine is meant to go side to side or to bend forward and back, not to go side and bending forward and back. And exhale up. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale over as you lean to the right. Really nice long stretch. I think you can see that I'm straight. My back is in line with my head. My hips are in line with my back. I'm not bending my back in any other direction but side to side. We'll do one more on each side. Inhale up. Exhale. Bend to the left. Stretch. Really stretch. While you're in the position, just relax and breathe. Don't hold your breath in any pose. And this is a pose that anybody should be able to do. And if you cannot bend side to side, you should start practicing. Inhale up. Exhale. Over to the right. This is what will keep you active and your body able to make all the movements it needs. Maybe even twisting to put that seatbelt on or looking back behind you. We want to keep all of these muscles flexible. Really, and this feels so good on my side. And I'm stretching up. Woo! Nice. I'm going to remove my block and come into a laying position on my left side now. We're going to repeat this on the left. So get my comfy pillow handy. And I've got my block under my blanket. You see how my legs were forward this way? Remember to straighten them up and get into that nice line like your box stand, your glass stand. There's a piece of glass here. It's cutting your arm off, of course, and a piece of glass back here, and nothing can move forward or backward in it except this one arm, which is bracing us. And then now we're going to inhale and exhale. Just to get in the sequence. And we're going to inhale the left knee forward and the right hand up. In class today, when I did it for a live class, I noticed a lot of them like to hold their foot up in the air, but remember that the right leg is resting comfortably on the ground during this pose. So inhale and exhale that left arm straight up over the head. That feels good. You should feel a nice, gentle stretch through that. Inhale up. Exhale, left arm over, really coming up and over. I really feel that through my QL, quadratus lumborum. I think I said that right. I've been practicing it. And you're just breathing normally here. I'll give you the cue in a minute. Okay, we're going to inhale, left arm up, and exhale, left arm up and over. When I do this, it blocks my hearing, so I sound like I'm talking really loud right now, but I know I'm probably not. So I got both ears covered. And I'm just breathing normally. My foot is nice and comfortable. My left leg is bent up in a 90-degree. Inhale and exhale the left hand down. And then we're going to bring the left hand around this way. Get your block handy. We're going to push up into side sphinx. So we're going to straighten that left leg out and be on our side sphinx here. This is also another, I think it's a pretty easy pose, but if you are not lined up nice and straight, you are not getting the stretch that you need. I may turn sideways so you can see me from the side how I'm lined up. And also this doesn't, unless you have shoulder issues, would be the only thing that would be hard to do this pose on. And if you do have shoulder issues, you can just come down with your head supported again and just try to do like some squeezes up. See how I'm just kind of squeezing up? You could do that. I'm going to turn this way so you can see from this angle how straight I am, hopefully. I'm in my side angle sphinx. Everything is straight. Now I'm going to, we're going to do our breathing with our arm to get ready for the side plank. So I'm going to inhale my left arm up and exhale over. Oh man, that feels so good. I hope you're enjoying these nice slow stretches. Inhale up and exhale left arm over. Inhale up and exhale the left arm down. Now I'm going to bend my right knee up. I'm going to do a side plank this way so you can see, and hopefully I won't slide on the carpet. Let's see. So I'm raised up on my left arm. My right knee is bent, and my right leg is going to kind of give me a push up. And I'm going to come straight up. I need to straighten that up. Here we go. Inhale. Push up. If you have knee issues, this may not be the pose for you. And you're going to exhale that arm over. Let's see, I'm straight. Yep, I'm straight. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale over. And I just had a fantastic, very small, tiny adjustment there in my humeral muscle area. Inhale up. And exhale down for a little break on the wrist. Let's rotate our wrist, even though the left one is not stressed. It's been doing a lot of work. Shake it out. We're going to come back for that side plank going into a modified side angle. So inhale up and exhale the right leg in front. Look straight and exhale the left arm over. Inhale up, exhale left arm over. It's a nice side angle stretch. Inhale up and come down. And we're going to swing around onto our knees and into a tabletop, into a few cat cows. I think I forgot to do the cat cows because we did the side stretches. So we're going to just do some cat cows now. When you're doing your cat cows, I want you to lead with your ribs. I will show you the difference in this. Here I'm leading with my spine. It's a little subtle difference, but if you do it right, you will feel the difference in how your spine feels. Now I'm going to lead with my ribs. See the difference there? This is much safer and better for back health. So inhale, lead with the ribs into cat. Exhale into cow. Inhale, cat. Exhale. Inhale, cat. Leading with the ribs. Exhale, cow. Leading with the ribs. If you do it this way, you will not get super extended in your spine. You come back off of your wrist into a child's pose. And I like to take my wrist while I'm here and kind of rotating them around because we're going to do a couple more cat-cows with modified legs. So come back up into a tabletop. And this time, take your feet out. Keep your knees in. And then we're going to do cat-cow, the knees out. So inhale. Leading with the ribs, don't forget. And exhale, cow. Inhale. Exhale, cow. Inhale one more time, cat. Leading with the ribs. Exhale, cow. Bring the feet together. We're going to come into a squat. Squat is a really good leg strengthener, and it also is a pose that most third world countries use as just the way they sit. Instead of sitting on the ground, they sit in a squat. And it's also great for your colon area, digestion. And then we're going to come up. This takes a lot of leg strength. And we're going to hold it up here in a high squat, which is not as comfortable as a low squat. Ooh, I feel it. And we're going to relax down. Walk your hands forward. I'm going to have to turn over sideways. And I'm going to come down onto the mat. Keep your hands here by your breastbone. I'm going to scoot up a little bit. We're going to do a up dog. We're going to do 10 of these up dogs, which is also a really great low back stress reliever. So in order to do up dog, you're going to press up and just barely lift the hips off of the mat. And we're going to do it with breath. So we're going to inhale, exhale up, hold for a second or two. Inhale down, exhale up. It's really important to do the exhale and make sure that you blow the last of your breath out when you get up here to the top. Try to relax your glutes. I just found me tightening mine up to remind myself to tell you not to tighten them. And then inhale, coming down, exhale up. Relax your glutes. Usually we say tighten the glutes, but here we want them relaxed so the QL muscle can relax. And inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Untighten your glutes. Just did it again. It's like you want to tighten them when you come out of it. Inhale down. I think this might be about 10. I forgot to count, honestly. And exhale coming up. Inhale down. That should have felt really nice if you had low back tension of releasing it. And we're going to roll over. I want to make sure I've done all of the poses I intended to do. So I'm just going to roll over, and everyone can roll over on their backs and do some more windshield wipers. Oh no, I almost forgot the new pose, turtle pose. We're going to do turtle pose in butterfly pose. This is good to do this right now. Turtle pose is a forward fold pose. So we've been doing a lot of kind of like back bends, mini back bends and side stretches. So this will be a balance for that. Now, whichever way you come up best, I'm going to come up like I tell everyone when you come out of Shavasana, because that is the best way to come up from laying down. So we're going to go into a butterfly pose. Sit this way right now. I'll kind of sit here. See my back? I want your back like this, nice and straight. No bending over. So come into your butterfly pose. And we're going to take our right hand. I'm going to have a block. And I'm going to have my right hand back behind me. And I'm going to just press a little bit on my left thigh. I'm not worried about this leg. It's kind of up in the air. I'm just applying a little pressure to the left thigh so that the left leg comes down a little bit further. Oh, and I want to sit up straight, which is hard to do. And release that, and then take the block, or if you have long arms, you don't need it. We're going to sit up nice and straight and press the right leg down. Just doing a little stretching in the inner thigh there and that hip joint. See, it kind of, when I press it down, it makes this leg come up, which is fine. And down. Then for our next pose, the turtle pose, we're going to take our butterfly pose, our bound angle pose, some people like to call it. We're going to stretch our feet out as far as possible. I'm going to have my block here. And if you are not very flexible in your back, you may not be able to bend forward. So you just bend forward. If this is where you bend forward, then stop there. Don't overstrain it. We're going to take our hands and put them underneath the bend in our knee, and then just bend forward. And rest your head on the block, if you can reach that far. Some people really like this pose, and they like to do it for their Shavasana. I'm not one of them. It kind of pulls on some of my tight muscles in my low back. But in my live classes, there's a couple people that really like it. And it is calming. Very calming. I'm just going to inhale up. Oh, nice. I'll put my block over here out of the way. And then we will continue on with a few exercises on our back. So I'm just going to lay down. It feels good just to lay down. I like laying down classes. And just take a nice deep breath and give an evaluation of how your body is feeling. And I have not been mentioning our mindfulness word, abundance, but it was kind of hard to think of abundance in the form of exercise or yoga, but as I thought about it, there is an abundance of exercise classes that anybody can turn on at any time of day living here where we live, and probably other countries too. So there's really no excuse to not do something. There's something at your level that you can do, and maybe something that you really enjoy that you'll find if you try a variety of things. Just make sure that you don't do things that hurt your body. So now let's do I just wanted to take a moment here to assess, and I feel fairly balanced. I feel a little, because of my QL low back issues, feels a little tighter than the right, but that's pretty normal. But doing this class has really relaxed it a lot more than it was this morning. And this is the second time I've done it today too, so I'm feeling pretty good. Let's go ahead and bring our feet up to the mat. So knees are to the ceiling, and we're going to do a bridge pose, which is another excellent exercise for your QL and digestion. And just raise up and hold your bridge pose for a few seconds I think I'll try to go 30 seconds maybe. And I can't see my clock, so I'm just going to have to guess at it, I think. Oh, I can see the one up there. I have one on the wall I can see. I think we're probably halfway there. And inhale and lower down. I'm going to do 2 more bridges, and then we're going to do pulsing bridges. So inhale up, and you can hold it until I say release, or you can come down sooner if you need to. This is a good leg strengthener also. And we are halfway there. Really tighten the glutes on this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and gently lower down. That feels good. And inhale up. And then we're going to do, we'll do 30 pulses, or as many as you can do. 1. And to pulse, we're just going to push the pelvis up and come back down to the bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and lower down. You should have really felt that. And the reason why I like to do some pulses with the bridge is because that does make you tighten your glutes, even if you haven't been tightening them. And that's one of the things we want to work on. For our next pose, we will do a one-legged bridge. So we're going to inhale up, bring up the right leg, make sure that your knees are even. Don't want the leg up here or down here, right even. You can't even see my other knee. I'm just going to hold it. We'll probably do about 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place the foot back down and lower down. It's kind of hard to hold up 30 seconds. I'm not going to make you do that. We'll just do 10 for the one-leggeds. Inhale up. Exhale the left leg up. Remember, they're even with the knee. Our knees are even. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale the foot down. Exhale down all the way. Nice. You're going to inhale both legs up. Flex your feet. We go into a wide V. I like this exercise because it really stretches that inner groin muscle. And a lot of times we don't really stretch that muscle much because we don't do the splits or have our legs out to the side like this. So we're going to inhale up and through. Exhale down. Inhale up and through. Exhale down. Up, down, forward, down, 5, down, 6, down, 7, down, 8, down, 9, down, 10, down. And then bring your feet into baby pose, happy baby. I should have said bring your strap. I don't have mine handy, so I'm not going to get it. And if you can't hold your feet, I'm going to let go of my feet because I don't want to re-stress my low back because I want your sacrum completely flat on the mat. And if I do this, either my top of my back's going to come up or I'm going to pull my sacrum up. So I'm just going to hold here right now. And then we're just going to stretch one leg, left leg straight, right leg straight, left leg straight, right leg straight. We're doing this because I forgot to do one of the other exercises sitting up. But this is the same thing. So we're just stretching out. I actually think this is more comfortable if you have low back issues anyway. Probably why I forgot on purpose. That's the one good thing about yoga. There's other alternatives to things that will do the same thing, maybe a little bit more comfortable depending on your body type. Bring your feet down, stretch them out nice and long. We're going to take a nice long stretch. Feet and hands go in the opposite direction and relax. Now we're going to do a bird dog, supine bird dog stretch. So right hand and left foot is going to stretch to the opposite wall. Neutral. Left hand and right foot to the opposite wall. Neutral. Right hand, left foot to the opposite wall. Neutral. Left hand and right foot to the opposite wall. And then neutral. Bring your feet up on the mat. Lift your buttocks and move them about 1.5 inches to the right side. And then stretch your feet out. And then we're going to take the left leg to the left, right leg follows, and if you can cross it over and move the torso to the left into a banana asana. Whew, it's a nice stretch. This is a great one for the spine and also for your QL muscle. On your next exhale, and cross your feet and bring them back to center. Move your torso to the center. Bring your feet up to the mat. Raise your hips and place them in the center. Stretch out long and do a nice long stretch. Both hands and both feet stretching in the opposite direction and release. Bring the feet back up to the mat. Knees to the ceiling. Lift the hip area. Bring it over to the left just a little bit, inch or 2 inches. Straighten the legs. Right leg to the right, left leg follows. And then the torso to the right into our banana asana, our crescent, supine crescent pose, or asana. Asana just means pose. That's why a lot of the words have asana at the end, like Baddha Konasana, that's a bound angle pose. Well, all those, almost all have asana at the end of them, if you're in the Sanskrit language. Oh, this feels so good. I hope it feels as good for you as it is for me. On your next exhale, release your feet, bring them to center, torso to center, feet up. Push your hips in center. Feet straight out, arms overhead. Inhale. And exhale as you stretch like you're being pulled apart. Stretch opposite hands or feet to the opposite wall of the hands and relax. And then get ready for Shavasana. So I'm going to get all of my stuff that I like for Shavasana, which is my bolster for my knees, my socks for my feet. I'll sit here on the couch to do that, so my toesies don't get so cold. And my my flannel shirt back on. And then we'll have about, we finished a little early, so we can go about 10 or 12 minutes in Shavasana today. We'll probably do about 12 minutes. I like this for my head and my eye mask. Get my timer set. And I hope everyone is just about ready, so I can get the time. And then I like to cover up in Shavasana because it is a little chilly. And if you want to have a little extra grounding, if you have your block still handy, I like to take my block and place it across my pubic bone on the lower ab area, just because it brings a little bit of weight. It's not much weight, but it's a little grounding weight. And now I'm going to lead you through your 4-count breathing. If I can remember to do it right. Sometimes I get really relaxed. And that is going to be a count of 4, breathing in the nose, holding it for 4, breathing out the mouth for 4, and then holding it for 4. And I'll go through 4 rounds. It takes about a minute to do 4 rounds of 4-count breathing. And then just breathe normally and bring to mind the benefits that you feel you have achieved from disciplining yourself and coming and participating in my class. And think about the word abundance, and what that means to you and your life. And so here we go. Close your eyes down. Inhale nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale mouth, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale nose, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale mouth, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale nose, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale mouth, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. So take any last minute stretches or yawns, any last minute thoughts on your practice today, what you could improve. Be abundant in your thoughts today. And when you feel ready, and roll over onto your right side, but stay in that position for just a moment longer. So you can hear a chime. And then very slowly push yourself up with your arm. Or you can remain in that nice comfy position if you want while I do our little namaste. Maybe you just want to just stay there. And that's perfectly fine too. When I started writing this class, I'm like, how in the world will I incorporate abundance into my yoga practice? But as I did it, it actually came easy. thinking about making the muscles more abundantly stretchable, um, doing an abundant bundle just for one area we targeted, our QL and the whole hip section. I think I incorporated quite a few for that. And I hope that you enjoyed them. It makes my back feel really good to do those, and clustering them all together really felt nice. And then also going on into our mindfulness affirmation word, abundance. What is that in your life? Is it gathering things, or like the quote said, that, what is enoughness? And I found another quote from Alan Cohen. Abundance is not a number or acquisition. It is the simple recognition of enoughness. And as I have gone throughout this week with this word in my mind, I've had a couple of things that really struck me of really how much abundance that we do have here in our great country. And I hope that our country remains great, even though sometimes I know I've gone to the store in the past few months and like, well, they're out of this and they're out of that, what, especially over the winter. What happened to the vegetables, the fruit? It's so small, but now that is coming in with the fruit and vegetable harvest in abundance again. But I went to Costco, and I don't buy huge basketfuls of stuff because I don't have a family. It's just my husband and I and the dog. But I do have a few items that I get there. And I just went for my kombucha run, and I Brazil nuts because I can get the unsalted natural Brazil nuts there, and I eat a couple, and it kind of helps to curb that sweet appetite that you get after you eat a meal. If I eat a couple of those and a couple of walnuts, then I really feel satisfied, and that's enough. And that's the point of what is enough. Do you, in anything you're doing, enough exercise, enough water, what's enough for you and your body? Enough food, what's enough food? But as I had that, and then I also picked up some cucumbers and some avocados because I had a good price this time there. And so I checked out, and where I was heading to the checkout, and they were sampling these really, really yummy dark chocolate coconut covered cashew nuts. And I was like, wow, I want to get those. And then I'm like, do you really need that? No, 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 you don't. And then I had forgot something. So I went back to the back of the store, which usually happens, and picked up my rice because that's what I kind of went there for because we were out of rice. So I went back, and then there was that cashew thing again. So I was like, oh, I'm going to have another sample. And I was thinking about it the whole time I was walking back and back up to the checkout of, should I really stop and get that? I really wanted it. So I had another sample, and I was reasoning, and I thought, if I buy this big container full of these things, I always start out with really good intentions of I'll have two, and that is a good amount. But then 3 or 4 days down the road, or maybe even that night, I have some kind of a crisis of some sort, an emotional crisis, or maybe I miscalculated and didn't eat before I left, or didn't take my snack, and then I'm starving, and then those nuts are there, and I just eat a handful. Then I don't feel so good, and then I don't want to eat good food. So I didn't buy them. And I was like, wow, okay, that is thinking about, do I really need it? What's enough for me? And I have my Brazil nuts that I bought because I was out of those. And I have my walnuts at home that are healthy without coatings of chocolate on them or tons of salt. And that should be enough. So I felt kind of like happy that I had made that decision, and that it was because of my mindful word for the week that we have too much abundance in our life sometimes. And sometimes less is more. Like when you do go out and do something and you get something as a treat, like that was a treat. I got 4 of those cashew covered nuts. because they were serving two at a time. And I was like, whoa, I already had enough. I had two servings that I would have thinking that two would be plenty to have after a meal. So as I check out and you go through the line to show your receipt, I'm looking at the baskets around me and literally they're piled up over the top. And I'm thinking, how is that family actually going to really use all that? Maybe they're buying for other people. I don't know. I'm not trying to judge. Maybe they're stocking up for the month or the year, but it made me think about how grateful I am that we live in a country that we have such an abundance. But then on the other hand, we have to realize what is enough in our life. And enough is enough for just what you need, right? Let's rub our hands together, bringing warmth, joy, love, and abundance into our heart. And I bow and honor that light in you and ask that you honor the light in others. Namaste. So I ask you through this week or this day or this month or whenever this word comes to your mind, if you see someone that needs something that you could share, and it could be a hug, it could just be oh, that looks like an old person in the car. I'm gonna let them have that closer parking spot. What do you have in your life that's in an abundance that you could share? Because maybe your feet work fine and another person's doesn't. So just think about that as you go throughout your day and maybe give someone that hug or a flower, just something to show them that you're thinking about them and that you have more than you really need. So you want to share that with them. And it can be something very, very simple. It doesn't have to cost you anything to share. And maybe it does cost something to share, but whatever your abundance is at this time. Have a great week. I learned a lot this week in this word that I didn't go to class for, and that's usually how it is. So I'm going to draw for next week's word. We're getting near the end, and next week's word is gratitude. And I can't remember if I'm doing a anyway, whatever class I do, flow, two bells and a chime, whatever I feel like, or a restorative class, it will be a class of gratitude. Ta ta for now. Have a great day.